before being relegated to making mainly sports games and the masterpiece known as Star Wars Battlefront 2, the new one. EA Canada made some tremendous video games. Need for Speed Underground, Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, FIFA Street 2, Skate, and a game many have forgotten about. An underrated masterpiece hidden deep under the snow. SSX 3. Today, the SSX games have slowly but surely faded away, but back in the early 2000s, EA was king of the mountain. SSX paved the way to the massive improvement SSX Tricky that many feel is the best SSX game. But for me, the third game has always been the peak of these. Pun extremely intended. In this video, that is what we are going to look at. How a game from over 20 years ago is still to be surpassed or taken inspiration from. A game that, to this day, still manages to burrow itself into my mind. This is the forgotten snowboarding masterpiece that is SSX 3. The biggest thing that sets the third entry apart from the former games, and to an extent upcoming games in the series, is the implicit focus on freedom. This freedom can be spotted behind every major building block in the game, behind every single idea. The thought was that just about anyone should be able to pick up the game and shred down the slopes, in whatever way they wanted. And this idea is thankfully fully realized in the Conquer the Mountain mode. You pick 1 out of 10 varied characters and then you're free to ride wherever you want. Whether you want to enter competitions or just explore the backcountries, it's all up to you. Strangely enough, as far back as the first game, there were plans to allow players to explore a mountain. But for whatever reason, this idea was put on ice until SSX 3. Along the mountain there are various stations that you can enter. And here you can customize your snowboarder in a variety of ways. Improve their abilities, buy new stuff or even change Uber tricks, making them entirely an expression of what you prefer, adding to the previously mentioned freedom. Another vital part of being able to freely change the game up in ways that suit your preferences is the soundtrack. Normally the amazing soundtrack for SSX 3 is pre-chosen, and great enough as it is, each track almost engraved into my head by this point. DJ Atomica is what really makes the radio station feel alive.
Make sure you and yours make tracks up to peak 1 and check it all out. Stick around and catch the latest here on Radio Big.
He will comment on your progress, your position, where you are on the mountain, mention many different tidbits and trivia, talking about the different snowboarders and their personal feuds or rivalries, and he may even just comment on fan questions or requests, making the pre-recorded DJ bring life to the game through this massive energy and personality to match the riders. Still, to this day, I think that I sometimes hear new voice lines and I'm shocked at the amount of effort they gave the feature. It really makes a big difference. However, if you only want the music, you can remove the entire DJ feature, only having the songs blast in your ears, or you can even disable the soundtrack entirely, getting the real snowboarding experience. Something that also makes the mountain come alive is the 3 different peaks you can ride through and explore. Whenever you want, you can open the pause menu and transport to an event of your choosing, or a section of whichever peak you want. Each peak focuses on a different type of atmosphere, and it may also feature unique mechanics. All of this and more is mentioned in the creative Hype opening video. Not only showcasing the riders that you're able to play as, but also what you can expect from the 3 different peaks. Although, whatever peak you shred, the openness of most courses, the backcountry and free riding in general is nothing short of spectacular. No matter where you are, this really does feel like it could have been a real mountain, selling the fantasy and immersion further. There are always several different ways to go through a race: slopestyle, big air, or half pipe. And if you don't really like competing, you can choose to freeride instead, having the ability to take on a variety of freeriding challenges, which can also have multiple levels of difficulty that nets greater and greater rewards. The different peaks also vary heavily in terms of difficulty, getting harder as you go up the Alp. But the EA Canada team wasn't done yet. So they added these snowflake collectibles and hid them either in plain sight or in very obscure places. This encourages even more touring, and you're also simultaneously rewarded for going out of your way to change up your normal route. The gameplay is largely untouched from the previous SSX Tricky, but it's obvious that the devs have put a considerable amount of time into the tricks, the control, and making the overall gameplay much more smooth, rendering the first part of this sentence contradictory. It happens sometimes. Hitting a big jump and stalling an uber trick or hitting a long rail sequence never fails in terms of satisfaction. The responsiveness and lack of yank in comparison to Tricky is hard not to notice, as well as the toned down but soft, inviting graphics on display. A fun fact about the game is that there are 30 different types of snow, each changing in consistency and the way it's rendered, with various shading techniques and lighting effects. All that said, there are some new additions and gameplay mechanics. Mainly trick combos, 2 stages of uber tricks, style bonuses and monster tricks. Trick combos can be the difference between finishing first and being finished crying in the corner after a loss. Knowing when to hold on to the combo string that also multiples the higher the combo versus cashing out the points for safety earlier is a fine balance to find. That's very hard to master, yet it also rewards the player for knowing the layout of a track beforehand. Uber tricks are now divided into simple pre-4 tricks, and after landing 4 Ubers, getting access to more advanced Uber tricks. And if you want to be extra stylish, you can hold certain tricks or slow down spins. Not only does this look insanely cool sometimes, but it can also net you additional style points. And Monster Tricks is the last major addition. These can be found if you're lucky or if you already know the combination beforehand. Otherwise, by doing certain challenges like holding a hand plant or grinding a long rail, you can get the special specifications for doing the monster trick in question. There are these small, unique character loading sequences and touches here and there that just adds a cherry on top of the already cool ice cream. I can hardly find any faults with this game. There are some things that I wish didn't exist, or some that I wish existed. For example, in SSX Tricky, every character has some variation when it comes to board types, often having at least one of every type, freestyle, BX and alpine respectively. And these also changes the available tricks. But unfortunately, this is not the case in SSX 3, only offering one general board type to every character. Perhaps this is due to not having enough time or purposely omitting the feature, we'll never know why. Specific rival dialogues before and or after events are also removed. Although not a former feature, a missed opportunity is the lack of other snowboarders when freeriding. Imagine having these random riders shred the slopes along with you, or coming across a beginner just learning how to stand on a board. That could have added so much character to the game. I know they did this in On Tour, but it's half-baked in that game, I feel like. And for those of us that enjoy a challenge, there are hidden platinum medals achievable by crushing a race time or point goal by a lot. Some being extremely precise if you want it, especially races. But it also rewards you handsomely, both in terms of money, but also potential extra unlockables. All these years later, every now and then, I get an intense urge to shred down the slopes again, where I'm extremely thankful of the insane replayability that SSX 3 offers. I never seem to grow tired of booting up the game and going for a slopestyle or simply watching the opening cinematic. The best way to experience the glory that the game has to offer is going for a full mountain run, completely going wherever you feel like and doing whatever you enjoy. The satisfaction of completing the entire mountain in one go is something that I've yet to find in a game to this day. And with the backwards compatibility of Xbone and Series X, I see no reason why you shouldn't give this game a try, if you have the chance, that is. After all, it's the best snowboard game ever made. Thank you for watching my short analysis of what I think is the best snowboarding game ever made, SSX 3. I really enjoy doing these types of videos, and hey, if you liked it, you can leave a like and a comment down below, and be sure to sub. But if you didn't like it, you can also leave a dislike, although they aren't really visible anymore. That was it for this time. I hope I see you in the next video I produce, and until then, I hope you have best of times, and yeah, I'll be seeing you.